Please welcome to the monthly Marquee, representing Hardin County Playhouse, Miss Carrie Lewis. How are you, Carrie?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. I understand you had a cold evening this last week.
Yes, we had a couple of cold evenings this last week. We did our ghost walk on Friday night and Saturday night, and it was a little chilly, but there was no rain, so that's good. And we had almost 300 people come through, and they came. Some of them came with families and stuff. They were all happy to see us. They enjoyed the walk. We got a couple of extra donations in the process, and it was just really great seeing, the team kind of back together. We were working that whole project together. We hadn't worked a project in a long time. We haven't seen each other in a very long time. So it made us kind of realize how much we miss each other. It was just really great to be together again and be working towards something. So I'm glad the community is still supporting us, and we have high hopes still for the future. And I'm just glad that after it was over on Saturday night that I had heated seats, because I was freezing.
We're all thankful for heated seats.
Yes. I mean, I forget every year, in August, it's not like you're thinking about those things, but then I see that little button when I get in my car, and it was great. So I feel blessed.
I just bought a new car, so I have heated seats for the very first time, and I just leave that thing on.
Yeah.
I haven't turned it off in a week.
Well, I probably wouldn't have bought them if it wasn't already in the car, because I've always got this strange notion that, something could go wrong. It could short out. I could be electrocuted, behind the wheel, that I would be that one person that would wind up on Dateline because their electric seats have their hind ends on fire. It happens, I'm sure, somewhere, somehow. So
you said, getting back on topic, you said you had about 300 there for the ghost walk. How many performers were involved?
We had 9 stories. So that was great. And Saturday night was a little bit better because a lot of our folks that did the guide work, as they brought the people around, we had more people available to do that. So that was even better. So it went a lot quicker. We were able to see a lot more people on Saturday night. So and a lot of people were just really anxious, to get out and about and enjoy the nice evening and enjoy Halloween. And Wicked Eyed Woman, she did, Deborah, she did such a great thing for us. She said, let them show their tickets after the tour, and we'll give them a half off drink.
Oh, so, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They were busy and we were busy, and it was just special. So that was worth a whole lot. So, my hat's off and bravo to Deborah at the Wicked Eyed Woman.
That's great. I love when those kind of that synergy starts happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does.
So the ghost walk is done. What next?
Well, like everybody else, we're kind of sitting and waiting and treading water. It's kind of like being a survivor of the Titanic and waiting for those little rowboats to come by. But we're going to, be looking at doing some serious fundraising come the first of the year. Hopefully things will be better, and things will be a little bit more open, and we'll be able to discuss things with people. And right now it's just been tough not being able to perform, for sure, because a lot of people, are doing other things with their lives, and there's lots of good humanitarian causes out there, with all this that's going on. And a lot of people are concerned about their money and their investments and the economy. So we've kind of laid low, and, hopefully things will settle down in the first year we can start again, because I think it's, the need for community theater is still very, very strong. Our downtown needs it, for our community needs it. The arts and theater, it stimulates creativity and community. And when you have those things working for you, a lot of other things just fall into place beautifully. So I'm still a believer, I'm still hanging in there, and we are going to really kind of push forward next year. And hopefully we can plan some kind of a season. So we do have Elf. We had that moved, Elf the musical, until next December. And prior to that, I guess we'll just kind of wait and see how things go.
Yeah, I think musicals in particular are very hard to coordinate with the restrictions that we have right now.
Right now, yeah. It was like we didn't want to lose it, because I think it would be wonderful to do but we were able to move it until next year. And I think, a lot of people were super excited about the possibility of that happening. And we, of course, at the time, we kept thinking, surely by December, things will be, somewhat normal, but here we are. So
I would like a t-shirt with that quote on it. Surely by ...
yes,
That's
fill in the blank, surely by fill in the blank. So, but there are upsides. I think a lot of people, because there's so many things that we haven't been able to enjoy. I think we realize how important those things are, like just being together,
Yeah.
being together, teamwork, and working close together, and consoling one another, encouraging one another, all those things. And the good side is there's a lot of people that think I'm really attractive in my mask. So when you think about half my face is covered and people think I look great, I know, thumbs up. That's great.
Well, Carrie,
you look wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right there. Well, thank you very much, Carrie. Look
Always a
forward to seeing
pleasure.
you next month, and stay warm.
I will. I've got those heated seats.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Joining us now is Carmen Caldera-Bratska with the Elizabethtown Performing Arts Center. Carmen, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
Back in the NTI saddle again.
Yes, back again. We knew it was coming. It's just a matter.
Yeah. Well, how are you spending your time these days?
Well, before NTI started, we were actually able to get in a virtual masterclass with some of our gifted, talented dancers in the district and a representative from Coker University.
Oh, excellent. And tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, we zoomed in the instructor and had another instructor on the call as well. And then our dancers were live on our stage, which was wonderful to see since we have not had performers since March.
Yeah.
So that was just a nice ooh-ah feeling for everyone involved. But then the professor and the student from the university zoomed in. So they were on our big screen so that the dancers could follow along in the master class. And then the professor was on another screen watching our dancers on camera and then giving pointers and direction and let's go back and do this. So it was very interactive, very cool. We were able to socially distance very well with only 3, and they kept their masks on the entire time, which the GT coordinator and I were both just amazed that they could dance for that long with masks on, and they were going hard and constant. It was a modern dance workshop in preparation for Governor's School for the Arts auditions, and it was really wonderful. It was nice to see that it wasn't that different than having them in person, and we would not be able to have this in person. We would not fly in a faculty member and a student from South Carolina to come in and teach our students for an hour. Mm-hmm. That's not something that would ever happen in a non-COVID world. So it was one of those silver linings that you just go, this is a really cool opportunity that otherwise we would never even have thought of.
It's fascinating to think, it's easy for us to think about the things that we've lost, the opportunities lost due to COVID. But it's fascinating for me to find the opportunities that we've gained. Our Pat Kit Spotlight this month is a dancer with Carol Zagar's Lego Dance Theater. And throughout COVID, she was researching and doing junior in high school, getting ready to start seeking colleges, and has decided to become an architect based upon some research and studies and some workshops she was able to do online during COVID. And so we had a really great conversation with her, comparing architecture to dance and line and form and movement and how they all interrelate regardless of the art form that we're working on. What did your dancers take away from the masterclass?
I think the same thing. I think they learned a lot about modern dance, and they learned a lot about working together and being flexible and doing things in new ways. But I think they were also just kind of like, this was a really cool opportunity
Yeah.
and just happy to have that opportunity. Performers are uh, they're having a rough time right now because
Yeah.
there are not a lot of opportunities for safety reasons. And so I think anytime that they get to do what makes them who they are, uh, they're just happy.
Yeah. 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 It's food for the soul.
It is.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of trying to serve students, one of the things we talked about before we started recording is you've got a project coming up with your fifth graders.
Yes, Morningside Drama Club usually serves the third through fifth grades, and that becomes a little more difficult when everything has to be on camera and virtual. So this year, to be sure that the fifth graders have that opportunity to do their last show at Morningside, Laura Beth Hayes, the director of their drama club, is working with fifth graders who chose to do so to do a show virtually. And her dad will be writing the show, as always. And so all of us are stretching and learning. So we will be starting rehearsals pretty soon, virtually, of course. Yes.
Carmen, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Our next guest on the Monthly Marquee is Sarah Vaughn. Sarah, how are you doing, and how are things at the State Theater?
They are fantastically slow. Is that a I'm gonna laugh, right? Like, is that a no? They're going really great, Bart.
We're racing forward one step at a time. Yes.
One tiny baby step at a time. We are. So, we are still going to go ahead and plan for all of our Christmas events. We're really excited to be able to execute those, hopefully. And so we're doing that. And as you know, it's impossible to plan for any kind of a shutdown or anything like that. So you just plan all of the details and then cross your fingers that it's going to work out. So we are definitely taking all of the safety protocols and all the good stuff. So we're excited to announce, of course, I'm going to talk about the event side of things and the theater side of things because they kind of all roll in one. So.
They sure do.
They do. So first of all, Christmas in the Park is our 30th anniversary this year. Yes.
Good gracious.
Yes, 30 years. So we are going to be rolling out some very interesting interviews with a couple of folks who were at the start of
Now,
Christmas.
how will you be rolling those out?
So we'll be doing a lot of the links on our social media, our Facebook page.
Great.
Where the long interviews will be actually on YouTube, but we'll have those links all on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
So folks need to get onto Historic State Theater or the Elizabethtown City Events page, like our page, and you'll see those updates. But we wanted folks, being 30 years later, we wanted folks to understand how it started. Because pretty much all of us from around here remember going through as a child. We all have some type of an amazing memory of Christmas in the Park. And when I started at the city almost 10 years ago, I still had no idea that the city was even involved because I'd never thought about it. And at the end of the day, I didn't care, right? Because you just go and it was great and it was fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when I was handed the project, I quickly learned that the city is in charge of Christmas in the Park along with the committee and volunteers. And so this year being the 30th year, we started to do a lot more research and dig. I had always heard several rumors about how it had started with Mayor Pat Durbin. And so we have her interviewing she and Carolyn Ritchie, who was her secretary at the time in 1990. And they tell us the story of how it happened, and it's just some really good rich information that is important. We also are doing this because 30 years from now, hopefully I won't be still working. Hopefully I'm on a beach somewhere with an umbrella drink in my hand, but we wanted, those coming after us to continue on. And we hope that they're doing a 60th anniversary and that hopefully they pull a lot of these videos in that history and also all of the original information, if you will, is right there with that. So we're really excited to show old photos and just really cool things of how it started. And and the interesting thing through all of that I have learned is that it really has stayed very, it has sustained pretty well.
It's been pretty consistent from the beginning.
Very consistent.
It's gotten bigger, but they're yeah.
Exactly.
Well, and Mayor Durbin is quite the storyteller. That's going to be a great interview.
She was so much fun to interview. The interview went a little long because she was, she was so much fun to talk to. She and Carolyn. I think
really,
it could have been an 8-hour interview. Not that anyone wants to watch that, but yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed getting to talk to she and Carolyn, and afterwards we even spent even more time. Carolyn has her original files from when she was planning. And she brought in a stack like this, and we just went through it. It was so much fun to watch the two of them interact with one another. It was as if they never skipped a beat. Yeah. They were still working together every day. It was a lot of fun. So, yeah, so we're excited about that. But Christmas in the Park does open to the public on Wednesday, November 25th. And so we are gearing up. Installation starts very, very soon. And we're looking for another great year. So, so that of course is happening. December the 5th is our big, we got a lot of stuff going on December the 5th. So that is going to be our scheduled Light Up Downtown event.
Always big.
Yes. So we're going to start that morning with a breakfast with Santa here at the Historic State Theater. We've added, because of limitations on capacity and all that fun stuff, we've added another time slot for breakfast, and we've partnered with Chick-fil-A.
Sarah, thank you so much. I think we entered into this thinking we didn't have much to talk about. We had so much to talk about. There's so much going on. I'm really excited, and my fingers are crossed for everything, for you and for all of us, actually, that we get these events. I feel like every week it's like, all right, push through. All right, we got that one down. Moving on.
Yeah. You're exactly right. And my thoughts are with you as well. You have a lot more people to navigate with and school systems and all kinds of craziness. So yeah, we will get through it, right?
We will get through it. And we will get through it together, as the governor says. All right, Sarah, thank you very much.
Thanks, bye.
First and foremost, welcome to the Monthly Marquee.
Thank you.
Happy to be interviewing you. I wish we could be doing the big limousine ride and all of that other stuff, but this will just have to do for now.
Sounds good.
Okay. So you are what year at Elizabethtown High School now?
I'm a junior this year.
You're a junior. How long have you been dancing with Allegro Dance Theater?
I think this will be my 14th season with Allegro Dance Theater.
What's your earliest memory of dancing with them?
I remember my first recital, and my aunt and cousin came, and so I remember just being really excited, and I was just really excited because I got to put on like makeup, and I had a cute little Daisy costume, and I was just really excited. And I remember just kind of going out on stage, and the lights hit you and you're kind of like, and I remember doing that. But all around, I look back and watch the videos of like my first recital, and I was a little sassy thing on stage. And I don't know, I don't remember myself being that sassy, but I just always thought it was funny.
So now that you're a junior, are you less sassy or more sassy?
It depends on the role. Like last year for Visiting Princess, I had to be really sassy in Cinderella because she's like trying to steal the prince. And I had a really fun time with that. So it depends on the role. I feel like sometimes I'll bring a little bit of it into every role I do. But I just really like performing, so.
What's been your favorite performing experience so far?
Cinderella is always my favorite every year. It's always something I look forward to every year. Cinderella is always my favorite.
So would this be your first year playing the role of Cinderella?
Yes. Last year I was fairy godmother.
Gotcha.
So this is my first year as Cinderella. So
well, You can definitely be more sassy as the fairy godmother than you can as Cinderella.
Cinderella can be a little more sassy with the prince, but definitely more so fairy godmother can be more sassy than Cinderella.
So how do you, let me ask this a different way. What do you get out of performing and dance classes and dance experience that just in general helps you get through the day, either at school or through the COVID crisis that we're all dealing with? What have you learned through all of those experiences that you can apply to real life experiences?
Okay, so whenever whenever I perform, you always have to be prepared and be alert. So especially with COVID, it seems like a new thing comes out every single day and it always changes. And so you just have to be ready to be on your toes, and it may not work out the way you want it to, but just being able to be on your toes and able to adapt, that's a big one.
Really
just
big.
able to adapt and just be professional in the way that you adapt to things, I think would be a big thing, because things happen on stage, whether it's someone messes up on their choreography or someone misses their cue, and you always have to be ready to adapt and not let the audience know that. So
yeah, I feel like I've been doing improv for about 7 months now. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Yes. Definitely.
So you've got Cinderella coming up. What else do you have lined up this year as far as dance? You're taking dance at the studio itself now?
Yes. So after Memorial Day weekend, we were back in the studio.
And what is that like now? How is that different?
So we all have our own spot at the bar. So sometimes we would double up, like 2 people at a bar. But this year you have your own bar and you try to stay the most in the middle of the bar that you can. And then we have our masks, of course, throughout the whole class. And then Miss Carol is really good about keeping everything clean and sanitized, especially the bars. Like right after we're done, she'll come across and go all the way around with her alcohol spray. And she's just, I'm just very proud of the way that the studio has come together to keep us all safe during this time.
Well, I think we all talk about the fact that when you're, I think it goes for high school as well, when your class that you're in, either high school or dance, or when you're in a show together, there's something about doing that project together that binds you together. And you have to lean on each other. You have to be supported by each other. And I think in a lot of ways, this crisis that we're dealing with has made those bonds even stronger.
I agree with you, yes.
And, when you're old and gray and my age, and you can look back on these times and go, yeah, that sucked. That was really bad. But I learned something about my friends. I learned something about my teachers. I learned something about myself that I think we will all find has made us better people as we go forward.
Definitely.
Just hard to see in the moment right now.
Definitely. It's hard to stay optimistic.
So what are you doing at E-Town right now? How have your classes changed there?
So I'm on the hybrid schedule, and it's AB, and I am group A, and I go to school Monday and Tuesdays, and then group B will go Wednesdays and Thursdays. And I'll log on like my normal class periods times during the day, and I'll do my classes while say the other half is in their class, if that makes sense. And then on Fridays, teachers will just put assignments on Google Classroom and you'll finish those. So there aren't any Zooms or anything on Fridays.
Gotcha. Maggie, thank you so much. I've really enjoyed getting to know you better. One last thing before we go. Why is the PAC important to you?
The PAC has just given me so many opportunities to express myself and just learn about the whole, like, so much goes into a performance that someone sitting in the audience does not realize. And so the PAC has just given me so many opportunities to learn and just professionalism and a work environment and staying organized, and it's just so important to me. And people can come in and have the opportunity to experience the arts, which sometimes everyone needs a little bit more of in their lives, the arts. And so I just love all the opportunities it gives people, and it's so enriching.
Now, Maggie, do you know which you're one of two Cinderellas or just one Cinderella this year?
It's just me this year.
Just
yes.
you. So any of the Cinderella performances, they'll get to see you in that role.
Yes.
That's awesome. Sometimes Carol, I know, has 85 Cinderellas. So I know we have to kind of keep track on these things.
A lot of us.
Maggie, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Students that I've worked with over the past would find it hard to believe, but I was not around for the heyday of radio dramas. No, I got acquainted with those thrilling days of yesteryear by listening to the CBS Radio Mystery Theater, hosted by E.G. Marshall. I would listen to it on my transistor radio from my bed when I probably should have been asleep. There was something unique about those experiences. Those performances, they've always stuck with me. I like to think of it as theater of the mind. It's that ability for sound to transport an audience member to another place, time, or to make that audience member lean forward in anticipation of what's going to happen next. Well, right now, 7 other actors and myself are trying to recapture some of that magic in a socially distanced radio show adaptation of the Jimmy Stewart movie, It's a Wonderful Life. We're performing it on Saturday, November 7th, for an intimate audience of 175 guests here at the Performing Arts Center live on stage. But since most of you watching are not going to be able to be part of that live audience, we're going to make it available to you through other forms of media. First and foremost, it's a radio drama. You can tune in to Quixie Radio at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas Day to listen to the program. You can watch it on HCEC-TV at 1 p.m. on Thanksgiving Eve and Christmas Eve, or at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day or Christmas Day. And for the first time ever, we're going to offer this program on demand. You can watch it from the comfort of your own couch instead of coming to the Performing Arts Center over the holidays. So check out thepac.net for more information about this new feature that we're offering our patrons. Now, who would have ever thought that the way forward for the performing arts would be to take a big step back to the past?